Hello. I thought of doing a quick video to contextualize people around the environments and the wallets we can use for Cardano currently. These are the notes for today. This is just going to be a quick update on what is working and what we can use in terms of testnet or pre-production environments for the Nami wallet or Eternl wallet. So this is an orientation for the learners who are doing the Gimbalabs project-based learning project, or for some non-technical learners that I'm helping on the side. And apart from this, we'll be available to clarify any questions on Discord. So jumping into context on these environments. This was a document that was shared by IOG, and what they did basically was, testnet has some troubles. It's not going to have a future probably. So they spun up these other environments. So this one is going to be the new testnet. And what we're doing in terms of Gimbalabs and the non-technical learners is whatever we had created there is probably going to be left behind. And we need to create or to import our wallets for pre-production connections not with the Nami wallet, because for Nami, I'm not going to talk much about it, because basically currently if we come to the network, it just has the old testnet. And so that's not, for now, we're just going to forget Nami. And yeah, so that's basically what's happening with the environments. We're still not sure in terms of Gimbalabs what we're going to build in pre-production or not, but we just need to keep in touch, and we'll iterate about that. So this video actually was outcome of some sessions I had this morning with a learner, and he was under the impression that he could get his balance coming from testnet into pre-production. So the balance that he had here or something, like if he was going to import it on pre-production, that it should be there because it was the same seed phrase and the same address, but that's not the case at all. So these are completely independent blockchains that are running, and just because you had one address there or one seed phrase, I was saying this is a bit like selecting your name. If you select your name or your address there, here you can use exactly the same address, but it's a completely independent environment. So it's going to be a 0 when you start using it with that address. Okay. So yeah, that's what you find there. But yeah, you can use the same seed phrase that you had used from one to the other. That's actually what we're going to do. Now, the main thing of this video really is getting set up on Preprod with an Eternl wallet. So the first thing here, I'm going to use this one. So what's happening here is that I have this profile, which is my Plutus PBL learner profile, and that's what I'm going to be using for today. And then I have this one, which is where I'm working more with the non-technical learners. And so these are just some notes of the work we're doing. And this is a support document with some tools that we use to get to things. By the way, here you have a summary of what's working for each environment. So the Eternl wallet now allows us to connect to preview and pre-production. So those are these two environments there. And they are not going to allow us to connect to testnet at all anymore. On the other hand, Nami only allows us to connect to testnet or mainnet. So that's where we are with the wallets. In terms of block explorers, I would recommend using C Explorer for all the environments, because you can toggle on the bottom, and we're going to see that in this video. And in terms of faucets, yeah, the new faucet is only going to be able to give you tADA for preview and pre-production environments as well. So these two, and the faucet for this one is now taken offline. It's not working at all anymore. Okay. There's a link there that takes you to this document that has a number of links for all the tools. So here you have the wallets, here you have the faucets. This one, like I said, is no more. That's not going to work. And you have block explorers there. We're going to take a look at this one probably at the end of this session. Okay, now coming back to the notes. Right, so on Eternl Wallet, in terms of selecting the pre-production environment, I think early this morning, if I went through sort of like the Eternl website where you could just see this thing here, it was still showing me testnet, but now, like I was clicking there, the way to toggle your network, so the blockchain that you are connecting to, here you have mainnet, testnet, pre-production testnet, and preview testnet. So these two are these two. And we're going to ignore this one for now. We're just going to focus on pre-production. So, yeah, so what I was saying is I prefer not to use the Eternl wallet on this type of URL. So I really installed the extension, and that's why I usually see it like that. And I still have the same toggle there, and mine is already toggled to pre-production. So that's about selecting your environment. Okay, so that was this one. Now, restoring the actual wallet, you can go to add wallet on the left side. So I've done it already, but you can go there and you can do restore wallet. So like I was saying, the same codes or seed phrase that you had from testnet can be used here. You just would need to go to the 24 words option and put in your words there where you select, well, this one's going to continue moving forward, and just select here words and type them there and etc. So I've done this, and that's what you need to do. And you can use the same seed phrase. And then you're going to have a screen with talking about the number of accounts. You can just leave that one as is with one account and press next. And then you're going to go through a screen that shows wallet being created, which for me took a moment, but then after a few minutes, I just refreshed it and the wallet was imported. Now, the address that you have should be the same that you have on testnet if you're using that you had on testnet. So it starts with test, and I'm going to go there. Okay, the way so this is Eternl for those who haven't used it. You just select the wallet there, and you have all these options. Okay, and so the way I usually come to take a look at my address is by coming to the receive, and I can see here if I just click it, it's going to copy the address. And I can see that it's the same that I had been using on pre-production on the testnet, but now I'm on pre-production. So if you had notes of this already, you don't need to update any notes, but I just made a note there in terms of checking what address you got, etc. And also again, note that no balance came from the testnet. So that's what I want to take you from here on. So I just finished importing my wallet, and it's not funded with anything because I just accessed it for the first time. Now, the next thing I wanted to, actually these ones were one of the main things, the main reasons that I had to do this video, which is Eternl is a bit more detailed or complex than Nami. And so on Eternl, I think it's very important that you enable the single wallet mode. So if we take a look, like I was saying, we had been working with Nami, and if you want to see your address on Nami, you would just come to receive, and you would see this, and you would click it, and that's it. It's always the same address. So you can, by the way, see it's test1, and it's in FA7U. And here, if I come to receive, it's the same thing and the same address, but completely different environment. Now, the reason why I'm talking about the single address mode is because if you actually come here, you have a number of additional addresses that you can use for the same wallet, and those can get really complicated. If you're working on simple learning, simple examples, you don't need all this, which Eternl does and some other wallets do. But so we're going to disable that, and we're going to turn Eternl to single address mode. So to do that, I simply come to the settings there. I come to the single address mode and I switch it on. So you can take a read of this when you're doing it. And I think almost I need to do save. But now if I come to receive, you see this screen is completely simplified, and it's really just your one address and that's it. Okay. So that was this. Now let's look into funding our wallet. So like I said, I've been talking for PPBL and for the non-technicals. And so if we take it from the PPBL way, the simplest way to get to the faucet, if you follow the content that we have on Canvas, would be to go to module 100, where you probably already had done this, but now we need to come here to the create and fund a wallet. And if we go to the fund your testnet wallet with tADA, there's always going to be a bit of redundancy in the names here because we are now calling it pre-production. So because we're talking about this one, but these two are also testnets. So it's the pre-production testnet, the preview testnet. But what matters is that the old testnet is going to be switched off, and these are the pre-production testnet. So that's why you still will see this type of naming all around. One of the important things that you can see there is that the environment, here you need to toggle between preview and preprod. Like I said, these are these two, but we're going to ignore this one for now. So we need to toggle the faucet to pre-production, which is where we are on Eternl there, preprod. Okay. Now, while I'm here, I'm going to, again, copy my address and go back to the faucet page. I have it turned to pre-production, and I'm going to drop my address in there. Say that I'm not a robot, you never know, and do request funds. Okay. Not sure what's happening there. Maybe it's a bit overloaded or something with requests. And it took me a few tries. I had to pause the video for a sec, but then I did get to succeed. So I actually tried on both browsers because apparently the service is a bit overloaded. But yeah, I got it. And now transaction is happening into my address. And there's a transaction hash. So let's take a peek. Now on Eternl, you can press there to refresh. And it still hasn't come in. What else? Maybe we can take a look at the opening up a block explorer while we're here. So if I go there and scroll to block explorers, I can open up one of these. And for example, I can do it either way. I can put in my wallet address, copy it, and drop it on there. But before, it's important to check that I'm on the right environment. So this is Cardano C Explorer, and you can see on the URL there. But if you needed to toggle between environments, you have them all there. and you could toggle between, I don't know, the legacy testnet, the Preprod. Here you can still see what you had on your Nami, what you still have on your Nami wallet on testnet, but the new one is the one I am on, and that I can see from there. So I'm going to drop here my wallet address. Still no transactions. Not sure if the faucet is running perfectly. While we're here, I'm going to try a different thing, which is get the transaction hash. So this is the identifier for the transaction of the faucet sending me funds. And I'm going to go there and drop it here. I'm just cleaning it up. So, and like that. So also no results. I think I'm going to pause the video for a sec. Just going to take a more look on my Eternl. So it's been a while. I've been trying to refresh my wallets and I still don't have my incoming transaction from the faucet. So I'm not sure if the faucet is malfunctioning and it tried to submit this transaction, but it never made it to the blockchain. So what we'll do is, because when preparing for this video, I actually set up a throwaway wallet. I'm actually going to use my main account here to do a transaction directly from that to my demo for this video. So in this one, I had already successfully received the 10,000 ADA. Used to be 1,000, I think, in the testnet faucet. Now in Preprod, it is 10,000. So I'm going to use this one just to demo. And I thought of recording this because this way you can see also how to send something. So I'm just going to get my address from there, which is at 0 still. I'm trying to fund this wallet from the faucet. I can't. So I'm going to come here, get the address, and I'm going to fund it myself from my own other wallet, which is this black browser full of extensions. So I'm just going to add the recipient. And then here I see the total available and the funds that I want to transfer. I'm going to transfer 5,000 ADA, test ADA. Okay, I'm going to do next. Now the spending password for this, I need to pull it up on another browser. Bear with me a second. There we go. And I'm going to sign the transaction. That's going to send 5,000 ADA from my account to this finishing in 7U, which is my blue browser account. So when signing it, okay, 1 second, I did get the wrong one. I'm going to get the right one now. And there we go. So now the transaction has been submitted. Okay, and I can take a look at it on the transactions page. You see, you can toggle between history and pending. Here, for example, we have the received funds, which was a few hours ago. Now I'm recording at this time, and I did this at this time. And you can see I got these 10,000 from the faucet. And now the low confirmation one is the one for me sending from my black browser to the blue browser. And one thing that we can try as well is to, I'm just going to copy the transaction ID. And if I go there and search for it, just going to duplicate this one. It's not supposed to be a simple demo, but yeah, life. So here you can see when I put in the transaction, it actually is already showing me the thing going on. And I can see, I'm not sure if I can see the confirmations here. I think it's this thing. So let's take a peek in the blue browser if I've received the 5,000. Just gonna refresh there. And there it is. Okay. So this was a bit improvised way of funding the wallet that I wanted to demo to you. Just gonna put this one to the other screen. And okay, so we're back on track. So this was just to fund the wallet. And like I said, you can go to the on Canvas, you can go to model 100.1. And when you get to the faucet, you need to select Preprod, not the default value that you have there. Okay. Last topic I wanted to mention is enable collateral. So this will be necessary for when we use our wallet to send funds, when we actually are working with smart contracts and dApps and everything. So let's see how we do that on Eternl. Here, I'm on the main screen. I have this menu, which is the main one for me. And just out of curiosity, if I come here, map delegated, and that's it. Actually, this is what I meant. So in terms of breaking down things, all my amount is available. And now it's just a little nuance that Eternl shows you as well. So when I come to settings and I look for the collateral option there, I can toggle it on. Currently, I've only received one UTXO of 5,000. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that part. Where do I have this password? Actually, let me cancel that. I just enabled it. And if I come to the account, now you see I have 5. So I didn't need to submit a transaction just to enable the collateral, but I could also do that, which would create a UTXO just for the collateral. So I think the simplest thing is really to just come to the collateral part and toggle it on, so that when you start submitting transactions, etc., it will create, I think, a UTXO for collateral. So all you need to do is twist it on, switch it on. You don't need to do this part for now, unless you have any trouble with collateral. Okay, and so that was it in terms of content for this video. Let us know. I had this topic here, but since we've spoken so much about the Block Explorer, I think I'm going to skip this one. Maybe just mention to you that for the non-technical learners, you can always, use these links that are here. And actually, I put in here the return address. If you want to give back your testADA to the faucet, this is the address you need to use. This has to do with the message that it showed me. But for the non-technical playground that we have running, there's this tab there for learners where I set up some formulas. And so here we have a block of columns that were for the testnet. So the testnet address and some testnet explorers. And now what I can do from this standpoint, for example, is if I get my address that I've now created on Preprod and go here, I have, apart from the yellow batch of columns, I have the green batch of columns, which is what we're going to start using. And so for my Preprod address in my profile, in this case, I'm going to drop it there. It automatically generates a link where you can go for reference, and if I click there, it's going to open the 5K that I have received, and I can go to the transactions for my wallet. So this is really useful for our playground, where I can not only see my things, but if we all share our addresses, I can go and see. So this is the colleague that I was helping this morning. And I can see that he got his address, his 10K, and he hasn't done any other transactions afterwards. Okay, so if you're using this for testnet, you may want to come here and drop in your, or in this case, it's the same one, but just, to move forward, because eventually we are going to hide this part as well. Okay. Thank you so much, and keep in touch anytime. Reach us on Discord. I'm going to drop some links on the bottom of the YouTube description for this video. So you're going to have these ones there, and that's it. See you soon.